Just briefly, let me use this. So we are live on that. So why let's just use the last 5 minutes here to just share the agenda and give everyone an idea of where we are and what we'll be doing today. So at least especially for the new people who are here today, I know that this is like your first time, so that you also have a capture of what WeFund Cloud is all about. So yeah, WeFund Cloud is actually your reliable companion in your cloud journey. So especially if you are from a non-tech background, will help you get started and of course move to higher heights. We do the best we can. And we started this since 2020, almost 3 years now. For the agenda today, welcome, introductions and announcements. You have heard that coming on already. By 8:30, very soon, Yolanda will come in to do a re-event recap on the topic sustainability. After that, Tekla Mbuwe will do a re-event recap on the general announcements. And then Nyeyu Tata will do a recap on the information security. If there are other open re-event topics, we'll have that. And of course, we are looking forward to questions and answers. As an announcement, we are having the network fundamentals starting next Tuesday. This is very important for those who are new to IT. You know, this is the first time we're offering the course, right? We were doing cloud directly, but we realized that some people who don't have an IT background struggle at times with fundamentals. So we'll be starting this next Thursday, and we're happy to have a subject master expert in our community, Akpo, Fese, and Mike. Both of them will be helping deliver that course for the next 4 weeks. For WeFund Cloud, remember that we have, for those who are new, we have premium membership. For those out of Africa, it's 25 euros a year. For those in Africa, it's 15 euros. And the premium membership brings you more benefits. And the key reason for this membership was just to distinguish the serious people from the non-serious ones, because before we didn't have this and we couldn't determine who is really serious. But this is just to help us at least know those who are really committed. The AWS architecting course by WeFund Cloud will be starting in April. This will be for those who have had at least a practitioner course. But if you don't have it, it's also okay, because we're going to handle it quite different from the previous courses that we have done. So more information about that will be coming up. This is our normal calendar. We have projects going on. The Linux course just finished last week. The networking course is coming up. We have deep dives, and as you've heard, the first deep dive is coming on next week. So just have this in your mind, and we'll always have this slide available in case you want to know what's happening. But this is the most important announcement. We have a deep dive, as you've already heard from AWS, Curtis Evans, AWS Principal Developer Advocate. Again, thanks to Tekla and Yolanda for making this possible. He will come to bring us the details on S3, and then also, if you have any questions about S3, bring them along, right? And the key thing is, depending on our participation and our contribution, it could definitely be a motivation for more visits and more contributions, maybe not just from him. So let's make the most of this session. The Linux fundamental course, thanks to those who did complete it, and this is how the satisfaction rate looked like. 50% were satisfied, 37% very satisfied. So we can see 87% were satisfied with the course, and just 12% finding neutral. It's the first time we delivered the course, and we're looking to improve it going to the next sessions when we do that. So thanks to those who took time to complete this, right? So that is just basically our program for today and a few announcements that we have. So we'll be starting soon with the recap. And yeah, so let me stop sharing my screen. And the first recap for the day, we'll be hearing from Yolanda. Yolanda, as you know, is also, let me start, I need the raw recording. please just accept that. Sorry, I forgot to do that. So as you know, Yolanda is one of our members who've been here for quite a while. So she'll be doing this first topic, and I see Yolanda is ready. So I'll allow you, Yolanda, please take it away. Right, let me allow you to do your full introduction if you wouldn't mind. Take it away, please. And in case, Yolanda, we cannot hear you in case you are speaking. Just let me know once you're ready. So we're waiting for Yolanda to join.
Are you seeing my screen?
Right, we can see your screen. Right. That's quite okay.
Hold on 1 minute, please.
Time, yeah. So once Yolanda is ready, she will do the deep dive on the sustainability, the area of sustainability based on her experience on the reInvent. And then, as you know, Yolanda is among the first group of people who join from Cloud to start this program.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can now start. So hello everyone. Welcome to the AWS reInvent recap presented to you by members of the We on Cloud community. My name is Yolanda Fetelantam. I am an AWS community builder and lead instructor at We on Cloud. I am 3 times AWS certified, and I had an untraditional journey into tech. This was my first AWS reInvent experience, which was very, very intense, moving around from one site to another to attend the different sessions. But it was also very, very pleasant meeting and talking to like-minded people who are passionate about what they do. It was an amazing experience learning from subject matter experts. And if you haven't heard of reInvent before, it is an annual learning conference hosted by Amazon Web Services for their global cloud computing community with both in-person and virtual content. So reInvent has more than 2,000 technical sessions, more than 50,000 attendees, and more than 100 new announcements. It's actually really hard to follow up on all of these announcements. And so recaps are organized in different parts of the world to cover each of these announcements. And we are here today to cover some of them. For the technical sessions, there are a whole bunch of different kinds, ranging from what we call chalk talks, workshops, builder sessions, boot camps, breakout sessions, and a lot more. For the breakout sessions, all of them, if not most of them, are available online. So if you haven't watched your favorite sessions, I encourage you to do so. There is a whole lot to learn. reInvent is not just about new services, it's also about how you can build on AWS. reInvent actually sets the tone for technology trends that we will see in the course of the year, especially in the cloud. And there are 3 major themes that we saw at reInvent this year. And so most of the announcements fall somewhere within these 3 themes. The first one is around data. So without any doubt, data is at the center of every organization, big or small. And analysts predict that in the next 5 years, we are going to create more than double the amount of data produced since the dawn of the digital age, and it has actually been a while. And so managing the scale and growth of data is going to be both a huge challenge as well as an opportunity for every organization. And talking about what customers should actually be doing to face this, customers should build a future-proof data foundation by choosing the right services to build a foundation that wouldn't need to be heavily re-architected or incur technical debt as their needs evolve, because all the volume and types of data change. And all of these services you're seeing come together to form your end-to-end data strategy. Finding a balance between control and access is also very crucial, and it is important for every organization. Establishing the right governance, one that lets you balance control and access, actually gives people within your organization trust and confidence in that data, and it will really encourages them rather than actually restrict them from it. So it is a good thing to actually establish the right governance. But on the other hand, implementing data governance across an organization is very, very complicated. You have all sorts of people with all sorts of different use cases and all sorts of data spread across multiple departments, services, databases, third-party applications, and a lot more. So you really need to understand all of these themes. The second theme that we saw at re:Invent is around infrastructure. As more companies and businesses adopt the cloud, infrastructure plays a very, very crucial role in determining whether you are successful or not. So your choices must be specifically tuned and powerful enough to overcome extreme challenges. And today, AWS offers more than 600 different compute instance types, so you can choose the right combination of resources for all of your workloads. And then the third theme that we saw is around asynchronous. So the world is asynchronous. And this was the introduction to Dr. Werner Vorhol's keynote speech at re:Invent. The world is event-driven. From weather station data to cars to IoT devices, everything in the world is emitting events. Event-driven architectures lead to loosely coupled systems, and that is exactly what we want because it increases agility and builds more scalable and reliable applications. So synchrony leads to tightly coupled systems. As you can see, the shopping cart service has dependencies on other systems, and you can't change the other systems without changing the shopping cart service. Additionally, the bigger it is, the harder it is to add additional services, and failures are not isolated. They cascade within that synchronous system. On the other hand, asynchrony leads to loosely coupled systems, and this is an asynchronous implementation of the same system. As you can see here, all of these services communicate via an event broker. So here we have the order service, the invoicing service, the payment service, and you can easily add the reporting service without changing other services within that system. And then here you have the basic components of an event-driven architecture. So you have an event producer, and then an event record that goes through the event broker, and then finally, the different event consumers that make use of the events that pass through that system. Now let's talk about sustainability. There has been a lot of talk about climate change, and the sustainability pillar was added to the AWS's well-architected framework at the 2021 AWS re:Invent. AWS is building sustainability into everything they do, and that includes working with you, their customers. For this, they have what they call a shared responsibility model, which is similar to what a lot of you might already know with the security shared responsibility model. So there's a very similar one for sustainability. And essentially, AWS is responsible for sustainability of the cloud, while the customer is responsible for sustainability in the cloud. And what do we mean by sustainability of the cloud? By this, we mean that AWS is responsible for building their data centers in the most efficient way. They are responsible for powering their data centers with renewable energy whenever it is possible. They are responsible for reducing the energy and water consumption associated with these operations. And they can also try to make sure that they have managed services so that they can make sure that these services are used in the most efficient manner. When we talk about sustainability of the cloud, a lot of work goes into renewable energy. And one of the announcements that stood out for me at the AWS reInvent is AWS committed to become 100% renewable energy by 2025. They actually had a goal to reach this target by 2030, but they now feel confident that they are going to reach that goal 5 years by 2025. And that actually makes AWS the largest renewable energy buyer in the world. Another very important aspect of environmental sustainability is water. So to cool data centers, AWS uses a certain amount of water. Water is a natural resource that is finite, meaning that it is limited. And so AWS wants to make sure that they are reducing this the best way they can. So another very significant announcement that came up during the announcement is AWS committed to become water positive by 2030. And this means that they will return more water to the communities than what they use in direct operations. And here are some key statistics for AWS's water stewardship program to date. AWS has converted 20 data centers to use recycled water, leaving potable water for the community. Secondly, their 2021 global water use efficiency metrics of 0.25 liters of water per kilowatt an hour demonstrates AWS's leadership in water efficiency among cloud providers. Thirdly, AWS's water replenishment efforts that are completed or in progress will deliver more than 2.4 billion liters of water to the communities where they operate. And then they are reusing almost 96% of their cooling water in irrigation in the US West region. The key point here is that AWS is not just getting started on this. They have been focused on water sustainability for several years. They are proud of the progress that they have made, and they are excited about what is yet to come. But then, as earlier mentioned, there is another part of this, which is sustainability in the cloud. Essentially, everything associated with the fact that AWS customers also have their own share of responsibility from the sustainability perspective. They are responsible to make sure that they have the right architectural decisions, that they choose the right codes, that they choose the right data patterns, so that even if they are provided with the most sustainable cloud, they still are going further by making the right decisions. And that is what we call sustainability in the cloud, rather than sustainability of the cloud, which is what AWS is responsible for. So sustainability in the cloud is a continuous focused effort to reduce the energy that is required to power a specific workload. And on that note, at reInvent, Peter DeSantis of AWS announced the Nitro V5 chip. And just to give a little bit of background, pretty much back right in 2012, AWS realized that they needed to take a step back to reinvent their hypervisors to be able to scale for the future with the way things were growing. So that's what they have done. They released Nitro in 2017, and since then, they have lots of EC2 instances coming out at a very fast pace, which are specialized, and that is because of Nitro. So now they have a new version of Nitro, which is a Nitro V5, and it is just giving us all that increase in everything. First of all, they are doubling up on transistors. They are doubling up on the PCIe bandwidth with 50% faster DRAM speed. And all of this means 60% higher packets per second, And we want more of everything, but there are certain things that we want less, and that is definitely latency. So you've got 30% lower latency with the new Nitro V5 that you can achieve, and then 40% better performance per watt. All of this means reduced overall power. So the Nitro V5 is not just good for performance, but also for sustainability. And using the Nitro systems will help you achieve your sustainability goals. AWS did not stop there. They designed their own processors, starting with Graviton, which today delivers the best end-to-end performance and energy efficiency. AWS is now actually on their third generation of processors with the AWS Graviton 3, which are 25% faster than the previous Graviton 2, and they use up to 60% less energy compared to comparable EC2 instances. And what fun would it be for AWS to announce a new Nitro chip if they didn't have a new EC2 instance for customers to try it out on? So Peter DeSantis, again of AWS, also announced the latest generation of EC2 instances with enhanced networking powered by Graviton and Nitro V5, which is the C7GN instance. So the C7GN instance offers up to 200 gigabytes per second of network bandwidth and up to 50% better packet processing performance compared to the previous generation, the C6GN. And these new instances are also ideal for running the most demanding network-intensive workloads, such as network virtual appliances, data analytics, and CPU-based artificial intelligence and machine learning inference. The C7GN instance will be available in multiple sizes with up to 64 vCPUs and 128 gigabytes of memory. And then here we have the HPC7G that actually provides the networking capabilities of the Nitro V5 chip and the new Graviton E processor. With this HPC7G, AWS offers even better price performance combined with leading energy efficiency for a host of real-world high-performance computing applications. And to keep it short, I have to conclude here. So in terms of the takeaways, so one of the key takeaways from the conference is the increasing focus on sustainability of the cloud and sustainability in the cloud. In this regard, AWS announced several initiatives and products that aim to reduce the carbon footprint of the cloud. And finally, AWS reInvent was a great opportunity to learn about the latest cloud trends. And whether you are new to AWS or whether you are already an experienced user, this conference provides very valuable resources and knowledge that can help you succeed in the cloud. With that, I thank you for listening.
Great one there, Yolanda. Thank you very much. I think before we move to the next session, I just want to maybe, I mean, I know everyone know you went to the reInvent, and I know that I see some people are giving high fives. Remember, you can use reactions. Lady N is giving clapping, but maybe Yolanda, with your experience going to the reInvent and thinking from where you started almost 2.5 years ago, just how is your feeling? What will you say to those new faces that have just joined and are about to embark on this journey? Just while we wait for Tekla to get ready, what will you say about that?
Well, I can just say, while growing up back in Cameroon, actually, I actually thought that the tech world was meant only for the boys. And as I have always said here, I started with a bachelor's degree in English language. And then when I came over to Belgium, I did business management, and then I went into accounting. And when this opportunity came up, that was in 2020 during the pandemic, I took to it with all of my strength. And just within 2 years, you can imagine, I am a mom, I am a full-time mother, I have passed 3 AWS certifications, I qualified to go to the AWS reInvent, thanks to the All Builders Welcome Grant. I would just say my story says it all. It is possible, so go for it.
Great. Thank you for that. I think all of you have heard it. So don't let your background make you feel you can't be, this won't be a field for you. And again, especially for the ladies joining, there's a huge drive to bring more ladies into the tech field. So there are lots of opportunities if you look around you. So, and we always have some of those stories here. We can't cover most of those things today, but if you are in the community, we'll always keep you up to date around what is happening. So I think while we wait for, we'll be moving to the next. If you have questions in general, I encourage you to put them on chat, right? So thank you again, Yolanda. We are very grateful for the presentation. Thanks for sharing your experience with us and especially doing this recap for WeFund Cloud. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, great.
Can you stop sharing your screen, please?
That's okay. Let me help you with that. Let's see. Right. So, yeah, so we'll be moving very soon to the next presentation, which will be coming, of course, from our community lead. I'll let her do that full presentation. So while she's getting ready to bring her slides on, this will be more on the general aspect of the announcements, and then Tekla will give more into that. So Tekla, if you are ready, please just come in.
Yes. Good evening once more, and welcome to this recap. My name is Tekla Mbunwe, and I am a community builder. I am a community lead in WeFund Cloud. I am 2 times AWS certified, and I come from a non-tech background. Yeah, I attended the reInvent for the first time, and I had an amazing experience. So the reInvent was a really great, inspiring conference for me. I had the opportunity to learn directly from industry experts. It was an eye-opener as I saw lots of opportunities, and I realized I was not alone in this challenging but rewarding journey. I did a lot of network and realized one thing: everyone I spoke to was willing to help me in my cloud journey. This kept me motivated to continue learning. At the reInvent, there were 5 keynote speeches, and the one that caught my attention was the keynote from Dr. Swami Siva Subramanian, who is the Vice President of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning at AWS. And this is what I will be discussing about. So, Dr. Swami started his speech with a very powerful quote, which states, "I strongly believe data is the genesis for modern invention. Many organizations like AWS build their businesses on data. Data has been used to develop countless products and services to meet customer needs. Complex data problems in the world have been resolved with some innovations in storage, databases, analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. To ensure that we continuously produce solutions and new ideas, we need to build a dynamic strategy. We need to come up with a dynamic data strategy and have the right structures and technologies in place that will allow creativity to flourish. In his speech, Dr. Swami compared how data flows in a human brain to the way data flows in a modern organization. See, the human mind shows how we can harness the power of data to drive creativity. The brain acts as a central repository where all data is collected, processed, and stored. Even when we are asleep, data is automatically being processed in the human mind. To apply the science of creativity to modern day organization is not always perfect. But why so? This is because data is not centralized in a modern organization. In the real world, organizations receive data in different forms and formats and from different sources. We have structured data, we have unstructured data, and the tools to collect and process these data differ from one another. So unlike the brain, which acts as a centralized repository, organizations don't have this central repository to collect data and store data. This leading to inconsistencies and data silos across our organization. So it takes time and effort for this data to be cleaned, categorized, and stored in accessible locations. Data isn't automatically processed. When organizations collect data, this data is stored in different storage systems, databases, and data lakes. So we have to build automations into our data infrastructure to avoid manual replications and costly updates. Another thing is data doesn't naturally flow within the organization. We have to build complex pipelines to move data to the right places, users, and departments. We also need to set up mechanisms for the right individuals to access this data when and where they need it. So data isn't always easy to visualize or analyze. With the different types and sources of data stored in different storage systems, it makes it really difficult to identify critical trends that could spark new ideas. So we need to ensure that data is centralized, that our infrastructures are automated, and people have the right access in order for creativity to come alive. For this to happen, we need to put in place a strong end-to-end data strategy. To achieve a data strategy for modern organizations, AWS has identified 3 core elements. The first one is we need to build future-proof data foundation strategies supported by core data services. We also need solutions that weave connective tissues across the entire organization. We need the right tools and education to help democratize data. Let's take a look at the first point, to build future-proof data foundations. What does building a future-proof data foundation strategy mean? Dr. Swami clearly defined it as using the right services to build a foundation that will not require heavy architecting or incur technical debts as your organization's needs evolve and the volume and type of data changes. To ensure a future-proof data strategy, organizations should have these 4 key elements. 1, tools for every workload. 2, performance at scale. 3, removing heavy lifting. 4, reliability and scalability. Let's look at them one by one. The first one is tools for every workload. AWS believes that every customer should have access to the right variety of tools for all workloads based on data types, personas, and use cases, so that they will be able to adapt to changing needs and opportunities. When customers are backed by the right tools that enable them to perform at scale, they can analyze their data and innovate a lot faster with less manual efforts. The second is performance at scale. A future-proof data foundation strategy should be able to perform at scale across your databases and data lakes. Some good examples can be, in 2022, during the Amazon Prime Day, DynamoDB processed more than 100 million requests per second across trillions of API calls. Also, Amazon Aurora scales up to 128 terabytes per instance at 1/10 the cost of other enterprise databases. Another one is the S3 intelligent tiering, which automatically reduces ongoing maintenance by automatically placing infrequent access data into lower cost storage classes, thereby saving costs for users. These and many more are services that perform at scale. Let's move on to the third element, which is removing heavy lifting. A future data-proof foundation strategy should be able to remove all heavy lifting from your IT and data teams, so that they can spend more time getting value out of the data rather than managing and preparing data. The fourth is reliability and scalability. Data is extremely, extremely powerful and critical for every organization. So we need to put the right safeguards to protect it. A future data-proof strategy should have the highest level of reliability and security to protect your data stores. AWS is known for building secured and reliable services. We have looked at building a future-proof data foundation. Now let's move to the second part, which is achieving a strong end-to-end strategy, which is weaving connective tissues across the entire organization. The ability to connect data is as instrumental as the foundation that supports this data. We need to create solutions that weave the connective tissues across our organizations, from automated data pathways to data governance tools, as well as across departments, teams, and individuals. One critical question I would like to ask is, How can we build connective tissues with our data stores? We can do so by using quality tools and quality data to fuel long-term growth. We need to leverage a governance system of cooperation. And thirdly, to create a strong pathway to our vital resources. Connecting data stores will drive ongoing innovation, and it is critical for the survival of organizations. AWS is known for building very secure and reliable services to help protect customer data. AWS customers use data lakes to connect their structured and unstructured data, leveraging services like S3, Lake Formation, and AWS Glue. Bringing all these data together, organizations can gather rich insights, identify patterns, and make predictions easily. But this can only happen if they have quality data. Because we need to use quality data and tools to fuel long-term growth. We also need to set up quality rules to monitor our data. AWS customers were concerned that building quality rules across data lakes and data pipelines was very time-consuming and prone to errors. It could take days and even weeks for data engineers to identify and implement these rules. So AWS customers asked for a simple and automated way to manage data quality. AWS listened to them. And at the re:Invent, Dr. Swami announced the preview of AWS Glue data quality. This is a new feature of AWS Glue, which helps you to build confidence in the data-driven decisions you make every day. With this service, data engineers can generate automated rules for specific data sets in hours, increasing the freshness and accuracy of their data. Rules can also be applied to your data pipelines, so poor quality data does not make it into our data lakes in the first place. And even if your data quality deteriorates, AWS Glue data quality alerts you so you can take action. This is very cost effective to scale with pay-as-you-go billing. So far, we have covered quality tools and quality data to fuel long-term growth. Let's move on to leveraging a governance system of cooperation. Data governance is creating a system of governance to unleash innovation within your organization. But historically, governance was seen as a defensive measure which helped to lock data in silos. In reality, the right governance strategy should help us move and develop faster with well-defined guardrails that give the right people access to our data. For a true end-to-end governance, you will need to manage data across data stores. Every enterprise is made up of multiple teams that own and use data across a variety of data stores. To do their jobs, data analysts and data engineers have to pull this data together, which is usually very challenging as they don't have visibility on all data available. To resolve this, A service called the Amazon Data Zone was announced at the reInvent by the AWS CEO, Adam Selipsky. Amazon Data Zone, this is a data management service that helps to catalog, discover, analyze, share, and govern data across organizations. It brings together data tools and governance to provide an easy way to organize and discover data across the organization. It also provides a unified zone where everybody from data producers to data consumers can go to access, share, consume data in a governed manner. AWS is listening to its customers and continuously working to provide more efficient services. Another way we can build connective tissues with our data stores is creating a strong pathway to our vital resources. Connecting data stores is one valuable asset for our organization, as connectivity drives ongoing innovation. This is very, very critical for organizations to survive. Modern organizations rely extensively on data to make informed decisions about their customers, about their products, strategy, and to assess the health of the business. Data democratization is the process of making data accessible to data creators, data consumers, analysts, and many other people. But without effective data governance, there can be no data democratization. Innovations can happen when people understand and make sense of data. Having access to data with the right governance and tools can expedite the decision-making and uncover brilliant opportunities for an organization. Data can spur innovations to all levels. Dr. Swami announced many more new services at the reInvent. I will list a few of them. You have Amazon Athena for Apache Spark. With this, you can run interactive analytics in under a second to analyze petabytes of data. They also announced the Amazon Redshift Multi-AZ. This supports running your data warehouse in multiple AWS AZs simultaneously. This is intended for customers with business-critical analytic applications that require the highest level of availability and resilience to AZ failures. They also announced the Amazon Redshift Autocopy for S3. The preview of Autocopy supports to simplify data loading from Amazon S3 into Amazon Redshift. And there were many more other services which were being launched at the reInvent. To conclude, it is obvious that AWS deeply understands that data is critical for the success of any business. As businesses increasingly rely on data technology, there is no doubt that data has become a key asset for driving innovation and making informed decisions. Knowing that one of AWS leadership principles is customer obsession, AWS continues to listen to the needs of its customers and innovate in ways that make it easy for customers to operate in the ever-changing technological world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lady T. That was a good one. I think if you wouldn't mind, do you want to come off camera again so that for those who will be looking and don't know you? Yeah, let's see you. And then please, yeah, it's really great. And you're talking about data the way you do, and knowing that 2.5 years ago, you were like, when you mentioned DynamoDB, I smiled because that's one of your favorite services when you started off. So yeah, this is really great, and we're happy to hear you present. Do you want to tell us a little bit, just, yeah, from coming from the banking sector, being involved more in doing MCs on Saturdays and not doing the before cloud? What's your feeling going to the reInvent and coming back?
Well, I would say that the reInvent was a turning point for me, because I joined, I did the cloud practitioner and I did the solutions architect, but there was a time I was almost, taking a step back, and I felt that the reInvent, having this scholarship to go to the reInvent was like a wake-up call for me that, oh, my reward has started coming, because if I had not done the cloud practitioner and the solutions architect, there is no way I would have been applying to be a community builder until getting this scholarship to go to Las Vegas. So it gave me a wake-up call, and going to Las Vegas and seeing people who are at different levels in their cloud journey, it just gave me hope and motivated me. And I could see lots of potentials. That's why now I am even more determined to continue than before. Great.
No, we're very happy to have you. And again, for those who joined and maybe are new, Tekla Mbonwe is a community lead here from Cloud, so help drive the community. And, so if you need something, you can always reach out to her. We are very happy to have you. And thanks again for all the work you and Yolanda, as well as Shu, did for Live Cloud during the reInvent. We'll be listening to Lady Nyeyu Tata shortly, but before we move to her, I just want to give a quick reminder for every other person who just joined us a bit late. But before I go to that, thank you again, Tekla. Before I move on, let me forget not to thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll be hearing very soon from Nyeyu Tata, but before we move to her, I just want to make a quick reminder. Some people joined a bit late and maybe missed this announcement. Just remember that you hear in Lady T's presentation, data, S3 keep coming up. S3 is a very fundamental service of the cloud. So just remember that. Thanks again to the efforts of Tekla and Yolanda. Sorry, I didn't want to show this. Tekla and Yolanda, we are having an AWS principal advocate coming next week to talk to us about a deep dive on S3, so AWS S3. So Curtis Evans, who is an AWS principal developer advocate, will be coming to talk about AWS S3, and it will definitely be an interesting session for all of you. You've heard the power of, S3 really is a fundamental block storage, but it also plays a very big role in most of the, alongside other services that you have storage. So my encouragement is invite someone, come along so that we should learn from him. And the key part again is, please don't be shy when you are coming next week. We would like to see people on camera, right? So as we go along, it's always good to once a while come on camera so that you don't just get into hiding. And please feel free to drink some water. Let's just say in 30 seconds, I know that we've just been talking and it can be a bit so consuming. We have all the sessions recorded. And for those who would like to listen again to be inspired by them, yeah, we'll definitely make them available for you. So yeah, so 30 seconds is ticking. So let me take this time to welcome Nachi. Nachi, good evening. I know you're joining us. How is it today at your end in UAE?
Thank you. I'm fine. Oh, we are fine. It's only that our environment is gradually going back to heat.
Oh, it's getting warmer, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's hope you're able to manage it. It's quite strange. We all
are
have
used to it.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, it was a bit cold here for those in Germany and around, but I think it's getting better again. Yeah. Nice. Welcome. And Thierry, good evening. Nice to see you joining us from Cameroon despite the struggle. How are you doing today, Thierry?
Hey everyone, hey Akuban. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. This session, I'm really enjoying the session.
Great.
And the person and Lady T for the is really wonderful. The presentation is really wonderful. I'm enjoying it.
Great, great. So we'll send a survey out.
Thank you.
Yeah, super. We'll send a survey out after this, and we always appreciate that feedback to prepare for our next sessions. And so yeah. Right. So thanks for that. We'll be moving to the next one. And I just want to then just quickly say hi to Clotilde, hi to Dr. Vero, and any other person who joined that I did miss. We're happy to have you. So Lady Nyeyutata, please, if you are ready, just go ahead and get your slides ready. And then as you come on, we'll also hear what you have to share with us regarding the AWS recap. So after this, we'll then have questions and answers, general questions and answers from everyone. So yeah, I see your screen is up. So take it away, Nyeyutata. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, greetings everyone. Hello, and I'll be speaking about information security. So about me, I'm Nyeyutata. I'm actually studying for a bachelor's in degree in applied computer science. I'm a team lead here at WeFund Cloud and also an AWS Restart instructor at coding school. Alongside, I'm also a working student at Deloitte in the Cloud Transformation and System Engineering Business Unit. Due to my passion to spread the word about AWS, I was accepted last year, March, in the AWS Community Builder program. I'm also AWS, twice AWS certified. So I've attended at least from now 2 AWS summits in Berlin, and though I wasn't able to attend the AWS re:Invent in person, I did register for the online version and did follow it as well. And I encourage everyone to check out the keynotes online. So as my colleagues Yolanda and Tekla did mention last year, during the AWS re:Invent, a couple of services were launched and some new services were also introduced, and also new features for existing services as well. So today, I would the services I'll be presenting would revolve around information security. It has 2 main sections: the threat detection and monitoring, and also data protection and privacy. So let's start with threat detection and monitoring. So security teams face a couple of challenges, and it can be summarized into one sentence: the analysis of enterprise-wide security data. This challenge is due to various reasons, and I would give 3 of them. Firstly, you have growing volumes of security data So security logs, there are the growing number of security logs provided by applications. This challenge is also due to either inconsistent data or you have incomplete data. Like, for example, you could have DNS logs in many formats, and it would require that the security teams should perform queries. And at the end of the day, yeah, there are uncertainties if the queries were done rightly due to the heterogeneity in the data. Last but not the least, you have lack of ownership of data. So analytic solutions, most enterprises uses analytic solutions that are provided by third party. And sometimes these analytic solutions give the data to companies within a limited time frame, say 30 days. And this time frame is not enough to get insight in the data or discover some patterns. So a solution to this is having a security data lake. So what's a data lake? So it's data. A data lake is designed to store files and other security data. So a solution that was provided by AWS is this Amazon Security Lake, which is a new security service that automates the sourcing, aggregation, normalization, enrichment, and data management of security-related data across an entire organization into a security data lake. So it makes data broadly accessible to customers and security analytics solutions to power use cases such as threat detection, investigation, and incident response. So this data lakes comes with various advantages. For example, you would have this reducing operational complexity to collect security logs and events and make data storage and query efficient. So it also provides, with this security data lake, you're provided with control of what gets ingested. And the data is then always available for you. Nextly, the data, you have direct access to the data, and it's possible for you to build a custom analytic machine learning apps. So how does it work? So basically, you could have logs from AWS services like Amazon VPC logs, CloudTrail logs, Route 53 logs, or even S3 logs. You could have logs from enterprise security solutions such as Cisco. And yeah, you could also use other analytic solutions, some provided by AWS, such as Athena, Amazon Detective, or you could use other analytic solutions provided by other platforms like IBM. So basically, with Amazon Security Logs, you choose what data you want to ingest and retain and what analytics solutions you want to use and make things happen for you. So there are at least 37 partners that have already announced integration with Security Lake, either as a source or a subscriber of data or both. So Security Lakes supports third-party sources, including Cisco, CloudStrike, CyberArk, JupyterOne, and many more. You can also use third-party security automation and analytic tools supporting security lakes, including Cisco, Datadog, IBM, Rapid7, Trellix, and many more. So now, there's also an expansion in Guard Duty. Maybe a reminder here, Guard Duty is a security monitoring service that analyzes and processes data sources such as AWS CloudTrail data events for Amazon S3 logs, Cloud Trail Management event logs, and also DNS logs. So the new features include incorporating new machine learning techniques that model RDS login activities to accurately detect suspicious logins in RDS databases. Secondly, we all know how challenging it is to receive an alert that something is anomalous, and we all want to know the reason why. So with new security findings that offer rich context, you can quickly answer questions such as what database was accessed, was it accessed from, and has this user previously accessed the database. GuardDuty also released an integration into AKS in January, and now GuardDuty can now alert against threat inside containers. It can also monitor operating system level behavior, such as file access, process execution, and network connections. Also, for example, GuardDuty can also identify a container trying to connect to a malicious endpoint. So this new feature of GuardDuty now comes with advantages like improved safety, high performance, and more visibility. There is now an added support for AWS Lambda functions. With this expanded capability, Amazon Inspector now identifies software vulnerabilities in application package dependencies used in Lambda functions code and associated layers. A gentle reminder of what Amazon Inspector is. It is a vulnerability management service that continuously scans your AWS workloads for software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure. Last but not the least, for threat detection and monitoring, we have Amazon Macie, in which now it introduces automated sensitive data discovery. For a quick reminder, what's Amazon AWS Macie? Amazon Macie, sorry. Amazon Macie is a data security service that uses machine learning and pattern matching to discover and help protect your sensitive data. With this new feature, Macie can now automatically analyze objects in your S3 buckets, inspect them for sensitive data such as personal identifiable information. Now it enables cost-efficient and broad visibility into sensitive data stored in Amazon S3 across each AWS account. It also helps now to guide decisions to perform targeted investigations of specific S3 buckets. Moving now to the next category, data privacy, data protection and privacy. Now, AWS KMS. So this is a managed service that helps you easily create and control keys used for cryptographic operations. So AWS, because of the need of customers to have maybe their own dedicated hardware security module, AWS Cloud HSM was created. So AWS Cloud HSM service helps you meet corporate, contractual, and regulatory compliance requirements for data security by using a dedicated HSM instances within the AWS cloud. So let's come to the new feature that was introduced here. We have AWS External Key Store, XKS. So why do we have this? This is for customers who want to protect their data with encryption stored outside of AWS cloud. So it extends the existing AWS KMS custom key storage store future beyond AWS Cloud HSM to keys in on-premises HSM. So let's make a brief comparison between XKS and the standard AWS KMS keys. So what stays the same? Basically, AWS KMS APIs for symmetric encryption will still be identical. There'll still be same pricing as other AWS keys, KMS queues and API operation. So what's new with XKS? The customer now owns availability, durability, performance, and latency of boundaries of key operations. Now, another one is that they will now be operating and licensing costs for external key manager system. So that's it for XKS. We now have AWS Weka. So as remote collaboration becomes the norm, private, secure, and compliant business communication becomes even more critical. So with this in mind, this service was introduced. It is an on-premises and SaaS-based end-to-end encryption service that supports secure one-to-one and group calling messaging, voice and video calling, file sharing, and screen sharing. It enables teams to effectively collaborate in a secure environment. So here are a few characteristics of this. So it's a single product with full site of collaboration capabilities. So it's a data retention service, so it supports archiving and data privacy protection of your communications. So it's a federated software as a service, self-hosted and air-gap deployment options. It also has advanced end-to-end encryption. So with AWS Weka, customers can be assured that they 100% own their data and only they have access to it. So mathematically, it's proven that no one can gain access to customer data, not even Weka or AWS. So Weka expands the AWS focus on supporting our customers on their zero trust journey with zero trust collaboration tools that are encrypted, end-to-end protection against both internal and external threats. So kind of a reminder for what is this zero trust. So zero trust is a security model centered on the idea that access to data should not be solely made based on network location. So it requires the users and systems to strongly prove their identities and trustworthiness and enforce these fine-grained identity-based authorization rules before allowing users to access the applications, data, or other systems. So basically, that's all. And as to conclude, I want to re-echo what my colleague Tekla said. I mean, we noticed that AWS is fully committed to its leadership principle, customer obsession. That is starting first with the customer and then working backwards. This is due to the fact that we see that many of the new services or innovations made by AWS almost revolve about the needs of their customers. Thank you for your attention.
Great. Thank you very much, Nyeyu. Great to hear again. So just a quick one again, being a student and being involved with the community, and so far what you've observed with AWS, right? You've talked about informational security. I don't know what caught your attention on security, but what is your feeling, right? Getting involved with learning cloud computing and AWS and seeing what's been happening in the relevant. It's quite amazing. You've been to already to 2 summits, so you are definitely no stranger at the summit. So what is your feeling so far, and what will you say for those who are just basically starting or who don't know much or who could be like you? Yeah, so just tell us what you feel.
Firstly, I would say meeting AWS during my studies gave me a sense of direction because, of course, the IT is very broad. Like there are many things out there to do. And it's also very important doing something you have passion for. So these summits, like the AWS Summit 2019 to be precise, it's what made me say, okay, I'm going for AWS. This is what I want to do. And yeah, I saw it important starting now and not waiting for when I finish my studies first. And I would say anyone starting now, it doesn't matter if you have an IT background or if you have one, just get into it. I mean, here at Brief on Cloud, we also have many people ready to support one another, and that's also the support I need. It doesn't mean that me studying IT meant that it came easy for me as well. No, it wasn't easy. I had support for my fellow teammates, like also things like in networking, like with Aquafese, who he helped us a lot in that field. So I would say cloud computing, it's very interesting. I mean, if you're here, then someone surely convince you that this field is a very interesting one. It comes with the money as well for those people that want good salaries and also flexibility. So go for it, try it. And again, the cloud computing field is again much more broader. So there are many things for you to experiment and try. So that's basically it.
Great. No, thanks you for that. And I hope many people get inspired from that. And as you've heard throughout the presentations today, it's all about data, right? They say data is the new gold, right? So if anyone is here and you are wondering, where should you go to cloud computing? Just start thinking that you've come here, you've heard so much about data. So maybe in your studies, you may start thinking, let you look more into data, because companies are really doing a lot in this area. And I know that it's easy. Most people always think about the solutions architect or the cloud architect roles or the cloud engineer, but there's the data analytics, which means if you are coming from a particular profession and you get into cloud and you do data and analytics, then you can be a better data analytics for that industry. These are all things that we try to think about and maybe encourage people to look in those different areas here at Brief on Cloud. And for those of you who continue to be here, we'll do the best to provide that. And again, for those of you who just joined, I noticed Oracle of Wisdom, Elvis and Sikem John and the rest. We're having a next session next Saturday with an AWS principal advocate who will be doing a deep dive on S3. Again, it's about data. So we are looking forward to have more of you. But don't forget the prep meeting announced for Thursday evening. You see that in the premium group by our community lead. We just want to have a quick conversation on that. So again, please, I would like everyone to come off camera and just come on camera and give thumbs up to all the ladies of Brief on Cloud for this presentation. I mean, we are very proud of all of you. And I think it will be good to see your faces while smiles. I know many people have not been able to talk, and then we'll leave room for comments and of course, questions as well. So please feel free to come on camera. We'd like to see all of you. And I can, thanks again, Leo. Kinyoy, thanks again. Thanks, Thierry, Blanche, Sikem John. Tante is here. Glad to have you, Tante. Tatiana gives thumbs up. Clotilde is here. Kumela, Elvis Tico.
Yeah, Kumela is here.
Okay, nice to have all of you. So no, it's really wonderful. And again, please feel free. Let me leave the floor open. I think I've been doing so much talking, and I think we can hear anyone who wants to come in and ask a question or make a comment. Please feel free before I start calling names.
Oh, sorry. I have a question.
Okay, great. Let the lady come first, Thierry. Can you go ahead?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I wish to, when I joined, at first, when everyone was talking, I was like, oh, what are they really talking about? Because what I did was like security. So I was thinking that maybe they're going to be talking based on security, but listening to you, I was like, wow, she's really hitting it. I'm like, it got so interesting. I'm like, I really want to do this. And the way what she was really talking of roll-offs, no, she was talking of like vulnerabilities, domain names, and DNS. Like, this is what I've been doing, and I was so excited, and the way she was explaining, it really got my attention. I'm like, I really wish to maybe after this, I'm just going to link up with her and see how I can start from there. Yeah.
That's great. You have got a new friend.
Yeah, I'm happy I'm happy I could inspire you, Mirabel. I mean, for you to see that what you studied is not different from what they were seeing here. And maybe let's take this discussion after. Let's not.
Okay, no, that's great. So yeah, you definitely enjoy it more better in the cloud. Yeah. So we are looking forward to have you. Thierry, please come in. Yeah, you are next. And
So you talked about the new is it KMS, the extension of KMS? So is that one like AWS managing cloud HSM?
No, it's like more of an extension in the sense like the key stores are not now is not more stored in maybe the AWS HSM. The HSM instance is in AWS cloud. So it's more of what is on the client's on-premises solution. So it's more of what is on premises for the client, because cloud HSM is when the HSM instance is on AWS. But this XKX external, it's now on the client's own on-premises model. Yeah.
Okay.
I see you're still trying to, yeah, I'll share the resource with you and for more information. I see you're still trying to connect the dots.
Yeah, because I knew cloud HSM was on the customer side.
No, it's not on the customer side. It's actually a dedicated HSM that AWS, because with key management with KMS, the HSM instances it could be many customers accessing it. The instance itself, it could be the hardware itself for KMS, it could be many customers accessing it. But of course, these customers, maybe customer A doesn't know that customer B is accessed. So cloud HSM, it's taking it to another level in which that complete hardware is being managed, is being they give it only to one.
Managed by the client.
Yeah, it's given, yeah, or managed by the client, like given only to this customer, exactly. And it's on premises, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm waiting for the slide.
Super. Good to know. Yeah, so please, again, any comments or questions, feel free to come in. We still have Yolanda and Tekla here to questions or comments. Feel very free, please.
Yes, I want to comment. I want to say, I have no questions. I want to just say thank you to the ladies of the WeFund Cloud. I can see the men of the WeFund Cloud are sleeping because the women are really taking us high and high. I was so impressed with the presentation today. Had a lot to learn from it. And the presentations were just top notch. I'm just dumbfounded. I don't even know what to say again about the presentation. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. And kudos to all of you, the women who took We From Cloud to the Wall. This is like a wake-up call for the men of the We From Cloud.
Absolutely.
I can see the men who are already up, already sleeping. Yeah, I'm very proud of all the women, Yolanda, Lady and Lady T, for doing this awesome job and for keeping the flag up. Please continue keeping the flag up. And for anyone who is coming new, I want to welcome you. Say this is home. And feel free to contact anyone and ask. This is a community we are willing to help, and don't think that you are alone. There were many of us who we don't have that background in IT. Maybe sometimes you can think of think that maybe you don't have it, like you don't know anything, you don't even know how to type any letters on the keyboard or so whatsoever stuff. But there are many parts in the cloud in which you could take and make it out and figure out yourself. Just stay connected to the community, attend these sessions, get heads up, and give it some dedication, like dedicate your time to it, because without dedication and focus, I think you won't have these positive stories that are coming up from the people from the group. So the first thing I will say is that please, if you see that this is a part in which you want to take, the first thing is the dedication. You have to dedicate yourself, to dedicate the time to take and even learn one or two. Like, make up a timetable for yourself. Make sure maybe if you can keep just from the start 1 hour or 2 hours a week, please put in that time so that as time is going on, you can add that time and have more eager, like you can develop this like I say, this appetite when you see people coming out with these positive stories, like how Lady T they said she got like really energized and became so positive when she attended the event, came back and she said no, she has been sleeping. That was a wake-up call for her that okay, there is something again to fight for. And to I know you can start and then you start feeling like the journey is too hard again because you feel like there are no results coming back. It's when you start withdrawing from the community, not attending sessions like this, which we can help to motivate one another in order to attain this goal in which all of us are here to attain. I think if you're joining this community and if you're on this call today, it's because you did see something positive that will come out from here. Don't relent your efforts in anything you do. As this is your first call, if this is your first day joining, this should be like a motivational message to you that there is more to come and you should stay connected to the community to gain more of these resources. Thank you once again to all the ladies who are making us proud.
Thank you.
And we will try to keep up to catch up with the pace because this is now 5-0. I don't know when we'll score one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll return the promise for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for everyone who knows Leo is a very, comes often here, but for Leo to come up, smile and talk is rare. So you know that today is really so good.
No,
Leo is
today is like exceptional day.
So Leo has to come on camera and talk. So we are very happy. And again, thank you for that message of reminding people that we are a community connected. We are here holding hands of everyone. You can't really think of everyone is kind of like a leader, right? So Leo is one of those members who joined in the second batch here. He 3 times AWS certified. He's currently working with on cloud projects, and he's also very committed in his journey. So he knows what he's talking about. And I hope everyone take some advice from what he has said. So thanks again for bringing that out, Leo, and we're happy to have you also in the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right, let's hear from the next person. There are many faces here. I don't want to call names. Please come up. And while waiting, Oracle of Wisdom, not sure that's the name I see, but we're happy to have you. And of course, we're happy to have our movie producer, Tante, sitting there with us. Tante, nice to have you. Okay, So please feel free, who is coming next? Comments, questions, and again, remember next session is a learning session from AWS and Principal Advocate. Don't miss that out. So any more questions, comments? Yolanda did raise something about sustainability, and we see how these, okay, Theo, you are coming up, I'm sure. Go ahead, please.
No, I just how can my people from the Las Vegas go and come back and say so many good things like this, and I just swallow and not not appreciate. Yeah, that's something. I mean, from the beginning of this their cloud journey, Yolanda mentioned her background, also Tekla mentioned her background, and all I could see is it's not important where you start. And these are two very inspiring people, examples for everyone in this cloud journey, that it doesn't really matter where you started. It matters your determination to get to it. Yolanda also mentioned that when she heard about Wifon Cloud, the very first time, she immediately knew this was something for her. And she has since then put everything in her own abilities to keep growing in this cloud journey. And you can see that even from her posts on LinkedIn and all the things she's sharing, that a day is not going by without thinking about Wifon Cloud. I mean, when she started the presentation, I was like, is she selling AWS to us, or are they giving her something in return? You know? So yeah, I looked at all those presentations and I thought to myself, if everyone who came to this cloud journey decided I would get there no matter what, and I would work as hard as it requires, I think we would have many more people coming back from Las Vegas today. So there's still a little bit of laziness in some of us guys, especially the boys, but for Yolanda and Tekla, that motivation that you have, that I started calling Lady T Tekla. Where is this formality coming from? So please, that motivation that you have, just spare us a couple more Saturdays. I know you're always here and sometimes it's hard. Just a little more and spread this motivation, share it, send this energy. Come and please let these people, the people who are here regularly, those who think that at least they can come and let them gain from you. And just like the presentations that you've done today, please keep sharing and making Wifon Cloud's name go further, reach the ends of Cameroon boundaries until it can no more be contained within Africa. And please, so, but besides that, when I first came to Wifon Cloud, I didn't know Lady T's name. I only knew Lady T. The other name of her that I knew was DynamoDB. So she was so much into DynamoDB that when you said DynamoDB, people thought of Lady T. If you said Lady T, people thought of DynamoDB. I'm just telling everyone here, just pick one of AWS resources and become that resource. If you want to be CloudFront, just pick CloudFront, become CloudFront. Somebody say anything that is about CloudFront that is not right, you correct them and say, this is wrong. The details are like this. You code them, you even tell them the website where they should go and look it and verify your statement. Please become one thing in AWS. I'm not asking you to know everything. Absolutely. Just become one of the cloud resources like Lady T did. Let people forget your name and remember the results that you represent. Yeah. When I finally learned about DynamoDB, I said, okay. The dynamism in this lady is really DynamoDB. So I'm very grateful for your improvement to our lives, I would think. At least I know somebody I can ask what really happens at Las Vegas. That's
Absolutely.
I mean, this is not doing with our cloud business, but I can have some personally in the hotel. And yeah, maybe people will come and go and they will not experience the contributions that you have done in our lives. I can tell most of you also, when I joined with Cloud, I was more interested in GCP, but there was just this one person haunting my back every day. You'll one day come to AWS and they would make it. And I don't know how Lady T has managed to shift my legs from GCP to do an AWS certification. But I can tell you that if you come here every week and because at that time I did not have the opportunity to meet within the week, like some of you have Linux courses and even labs now, but every opportunity they got during the weekend, they made sure that you were motivated enough to be there the next Saturday. And so that's where I would end. There's still so much to say, but maybe I will call Lady T and Yolanda personally, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tio.
Thank you, Tio. Maybe I just want to chip in something. I really appreciate all the comments, but there's one thing. This Yolanda is the one who is always holding my hand. Every time I want to step back, she's coming to say, let's do it, let's do it. I know that this one, it was the other way around, but at least she was there pushing me to.
Great.
One thing I want to share now is, while we were preparing for this, Yolanda said something today that it just, turned my brain. She was like, Lady T, I already have a calendar for us for this year.
Okay.
I'm like, because no, we got emails to apply to speak in Amsterdam, right? But we have not yet applied. So she was like, we have to look for a topic to go and speak in the AWS pro this thing in Amsterdam. He says, after Amsterdam, after Brussels is Amsterdam, after Amsterdam is Las Vegas. So she already is planning a calendar for us.
Please share that calendar. That's not fair. Only for the ladies, it's not fair. We're going to make something for the guys, please.
Yes. I'm sorry I said it, but I just had to. It was so funny that I thought I needed to share this one. And she already has a calendar planned in the head,
If only the two of you go again to Las Vegas next time, it will not make it alone with
all of us.
Okay, we'll definitely go. So
I predict about 10 people from here will go to Las Vegas.
Definitely. So thanks again for those comments. So I see Kinyo has the hand up. And again, I wanted to mention for the new people that Theophile is the lab instructor here at Wifon Cloud, offers sessions every Tuesdays and Fridays. So you are basically covered. Apart from the theory, if you are struggling with, how do you translate what you are learning into real practical scenarios? So we have lab sessions every Tuesdays for beginners, and on Fridays is the advanced lab sessions. So Kinyo, I see you have your hand up. Since there's no one, we're already above time, but we'll take your question or comment, and then we'll continue before we round up in the next 5 minutes or so. Go ahead, Kinyo.
Yeah, so my question is that I don't really know much about AWS and Wifon Cloud. So I just wish to know, and listening to the ladies talk, Yolanda, Tekle, and Mayu, I don't really know if they have like different section security, because they are talking of different aspects. So I don't know if it's a broad thing or if there are different sections where you have to study. Another one, like you have your own thing that you have to study from AWS, this one has, or is it something that is being studied together?
Okay. Yolanda, take that, please.
Okay, Kinyo, let me just chip in something. It's very broad. AWS is very broad. So when we started, Banjika actually encouraged us to pick like 2 topics and specialize on that. For instance, I did networking, and now I am focused on the well-architected framework and particularly interested in sustainability. Lady T on her part took cost management, and she's also focused on storage. I think Nyu took security. Nyu is a bit of everything, I think, and EC2. So that's the approach we took. And even in the real life scenario in AWS, you would see you have the general picture, but then you have to specialize, because if you don't specialize, then you really not master the content of what is expected of you. So that's the approach. So now that you said you're interested in security, kind of, you can focus on that, but still keeping a global view of everything, right?
Yeah, and
Thank you so much.
another way she can grow is she can also, last time we used to do a lot of presentations. So maybe you can liaise with the coordinator of the program to see how you can challenge yourself to go study something and present.
Yeah.
This is how we specialize. We had to study these things and present it to the group.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in something, challenge yourself. Don't be scared of making mistakes, because if you're scared of making mistakes, you'll never grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so just challenge yourself. Yeah.
Right. No, Kinyo, definitely is glad you're here, and is glad you are connecting with Nyeyu. She's the team lead here at WeFund Cloud. So, and Lady T, Tekla is the community lead. Yolanda here is the lead instructor. So if you connect with one of these, will help you get started, right? So as Yolanda mentioned, here we really encourage that you have a general picture, let's say the solutions architect, as you said, certification, and then you can start really specializing. But while studying, you can be knowing, you're already recognized an area that attracts you, so it will be ringing your mind more. So please reach out to all of us, and then we can take that conversation. It will help you get started. And nice to know this has really motivated you. Yeah, good, great. So
on Saturday next week,